everybody, this is Bryson Fowler, Boss Talks on the Rooftop, Season 8. And today we're at the Blowing Smoke Fest. And I have the greatest honor of introducing Mr. Luciano of Luciano Cigars. How you doing, sir?
My brother, doing well, man. Good to be here. Good to be here with you, bro.
The honor's all mine, man. I appreciate you coming in.
Absolutely, man.
And spending time with us. So let's light up. Let's pour up.
Yeah, I got this Emergence going. It's our new cigar. I'm excited to smoking one as well.
Absolutely.
We got this just recently launched, and it's gonna start shipping next week.
Oh wow!
So it's a nice partnership with Peter James. It's a company that makes a lot of the leather goods that we see out there, and very kind of high-end leather goods. So we decided to create a cigar together, actually create a line of cigars together, and became partners on this brand. And Emergence is the number one of many that will come. So
nice.
we're excited about this a lot. But man, it's good to be here. Thanks for the pour of a Johnny Walker rye.
Well,
cheers.
Cheers. I like to do a cigar toast to you. So always cigar toast.
Absolutely. There you go.
Cheers.
Cheers, bro. What a beautiful light, huh?
Thank you.
That's some good stuff, man. Look at this. This is beautiful.
It's a torch by
nice.
Kingpin Luxury. It's yours. I'm gonna get you one
Hey.
that's untouched.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Thanks,
it's all
bro.
you.
Appreciate it. I don't need it because I forgot my lighter tonight. So.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure TSA give you a hard time going through.
Believe me.
Trying to get a torch through.
Do you know what happened with me coming here? So in Nicaragua, I always carry like a knife, and by mistake, I left that knife inside my my carry-on, dude, and I got stopped, and I might lose my TSA.
You can't lose your TSA pre-check. That's the whole.
Oh man!
But the whole important part about the whole thing about getting your TSA pre-check is so you don't have to open out and take out everything in your bag.
Man, yeah. But let's see. Hopefully, I can get by. Let's see.
Yeah. So, are you staying in Nicaragua or where you stay at in the States?
My residence is in Florida, but I spend half of my time in Nicaragua. The past 17 years, I've been spending a lot of time in Nicaragua, at least more than half, actually.
Yeah.
Especially, from 2008 to 2017. It was like 3 weeks there, 1 week here.
Yeah.
Now it's kind of 2 and 2.
Man. So, you're big on family. And so you're big on alignment, which I learned last night from you. How do you make sure that everything properly aligns with the vision that you have and your family prioritizations?
Listen, tobacco for me was healing because in my previous life, I used to work a lot in a way that I just didn't see my kids grown. My wife was taking care of them most of the time when they're babies, So to be quite frank, I was not a good father. I was not the best version of myself as a father, as a husband. And tobacco brought me healing, man. That's the very reason why I got into tobacco. I decided to kind of stop everything. There was a huge trauma that happened in our family, and I just decided to change my lifestyle completely. That's how I got into the cigar business. 17 years ago, I decided to shift my lifestyle and start first growing tobacco. That was my first thing, and then from growing tobacco, fermenting, and then from fermenting, making cigars for other companies. And then finally making cigars for ourselves, building the brand. So we come from usually the opposite side. A lot of people start with their own brand, and then they eventually will get into manufacturing and growing tobacco. So we start from the other side.
Right.
Yeah.
And see, I believe that's how you build a strong foundation. I'm a roofer and construction guy by trade. So foundation, and then we build the roof to cover everything to protect inside.
That's right. So I had the privilege of being mentored by a guy who, Ernesto Carrillo first, who kind of told me, if you want to get into this business, learn tobacco first. And I follow his advice to the letter and decided to kind of invest my time in really learning in the agricultural part of the business, and then eventually, fermentation, and it's been a journey, bro. Our brand has been growing a lot. We are in a little over 1,000 stores in the United States and 21 different countries.
Wow.
But it took a long time to get there, and we never did anything artificially. Like everything was truly organic. We just been spending time in building that foundation, reinvesting in the company, making sure everybody's taken care of. Focusing on people first.
Right.
And no, now the kids grown up, so it's a little easier for me to travel too. I have 3 daughters. My eldest one, she's 26 now.
Wow.
Has her own business, lives abroad. I have another daughter of 23, and one that just is about turned 21.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, all grown up. Thank you.
Man, what's it like being outnumbered in your house? Like all the women and just you?
Yeah, just girls, man. I've been married for 28 years.
Man,
so,
congratulations, brother.
Thank you.
It's a true testament. I have a daughter myself, so I'm still learning that grace, and how my tone is when I talk to her. Because I don't want to I want to baby her, but I don't want to enable her to where she just is a snotty kid. Because everybody else spoils her.
Yeah, how old is she?
She'll be turning 8 tomorrow.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, so
wait until she turns 12, bro. That's the toughest.
Is it?
12 to 18.
Oh.
Those are going to be the 6 years of your life, man. I'm telling you. There's good stuff, but when they turn 12, they just start disliking you.
Yeah.
You're their hero until they turn 12.
And see, that's what I've been like. I've been preparing my mind for when she's like, "Daddy, get out of here."
Yeah.
Like at some point she's gonna be like, "I don't like you. You don't understand."
And you gotta be patient because when she turns 18, she's gonna start coming back to you, and then you're gonna become her hero again.
Yeah.
She'll come for advice. She'll get closer. You're gonna be able to, when she turns 21, have a drink together, drink some wine, smoking cigars,
and really have real talks.
Yeah. So I'm leaving that phase now where I can smoke with my kids and have a drink and have some deep conversations. So I'm that phase right now, which I love it.
Yeah. And see, I'm not forsaking the daddy's little girl moment right now.
Yeah.
She's coming to me for everything, and that's my heart. So
it's awesome, bro.
Hearing the wait till she turns 12, I'm like, yeah.
I'm telling you, man, that's my advice. You get prepared.
Yeah.
Be prepared.
Yeah. So going right into it, how did you prepare for launching your next venture for like the underrated, the delay? How'd you prepare for opening up with like other individuals and your partnerships?
Yeah, listen, I believe that God gives us opportunities to find good people, and we have to kind of seize those opportunities. I think a good partnership is when the partnership is good for both sides, right? For everybody, not just both sides, but it's actually everyone that's involved in the process, right? Of whatever venture you're building together. Like Dalai, for example, it's been our German distributor for a little over 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
And we manufacture a brand for him as well. And we get into new projects. And one day we're just talking, and he never asked actually. I offered him. I said, "Hey, listen, why don't we distribute your products into the United States? Products are great. You're doing such a wonderful job for us. I really would like to kind of return that. That amazing work that you're doing for us." And it took him like 10 seconds. He said, "Done deal." I was waiting for someone to come in and really propose that to us, because I do want to bring our story, our brands into the United States. So we launched two lines at PCA last year. We launched 2023 we launched Istanbul, and last year the Dalai Nicaragua, and was a big success. We have everywhere here in Texas and all over the United States. And then Peter James, again, when we see value both ends, it makes things so much easier, right? So Peter James, I've been working with these guys for almost like 3 years. John Lorandi, one of the owners, he approached us, asked me to produce some samples, and he has an amazing palate too. So he's one of the super tasters we're talking about last night.
Yeah.
And then I created a blend that I always name the blends, not necessarily the name of the cigar,
Cigar, but the blends yourself.
so you don't forget the blends. So that blend was called Deep and Shallow. So it has speaks to both frequencies. Like you have a medium to high acidity, and then you have a lot of depth. So that then we call like Deep and Shallow. Tweaked a little bit over a year, and then when we felt extremely confident to launch, which is the one we're smoking right now, that's when we did. Tremendous acceptance. It is a fairly expensive cigar for for the consumer, but it delivers every penny.
Right.
So when people smoke this, they understand why it costs what it costs.
Right.
There's every single tobacco that's in here reached its peak on fermentation. We have here one of the most expensive wrappers you can possibly find from Loja, a little south of Quevedo in Ecuador. And it's only the Corona, just the very thick leaves from that plant. And it's this delicious outcome here. You know, a lot of sweetness and medium strength that comes all together.
Yeah, and you can tell that all the way through it. For right now, we're in the first third of it, and it's smooth, and it goes well with what we're sipping on. Right
Exactly. I love the combination.
Yeah, it's really what I tell a lot of people that are looking for a pairing, and they're not necessarily big drinkers. I tell them like a cream soda or Dr. Pepper, because it has 23 different flavors, right?
Yeah.
That's the promotion they have.
Okay.
And I say sit and drink that and let the cigar take over your palate.
Yeah.
Because the cream soda kind of cleanse it. Water, sometimes people don't do well with water when they smoke. But I tell them a cream soda or Dr. Pepper should cleanse your palate and get you ready. If you're not looking to take on spirits. Now, you said something that was interesting to me. You said the fermentation. Why is the fermentation so important?
Oh, it's probably the most important thing in any cigar is fermentation. So fermentation is the reaction of the natural yeasts that you find in the tobacco with the biomatter, the carbon, and the oxygen. So when there's that reaction, that releases all the ammonia. If you don't have fermentation, the ammonia stays in the leaf, and that can be extremely intoxicating, you know. So you have to ferment, and what really creates the sensation of sweetness and texture and all the flavors you feel from the smoke comes from the fermentation of the tobacco. In fact, there's something very interesting we didn't talk about last night. Yeasts and bacteria are present in almost everything. Not almost. Every living matter have yeast and bacteria. Our skin has yeast and bacteria. Our stomach has yeast and bacteria. That's why when you take a lot of antibiotics, the side effect is skin rash, yeast infections, because now you killed all the bacteria that actually maintain the balance of the yeasts. Because you kill the bacteria, the yeasts take over.
Right.
So usually the strongest, if there's more colony of bacteria, they will eat the yeast. If there's more colony of yeast, they'll kill the bacteria. That's why vinegar, like wine, is extremely bactericide. So is the fermented tobacco. So when the yeasts get activated, they build colonies, and the reaction of the leaves, of the yeasts in the leaves with the oxygen, it's what releases the ammonia. And there's different types of yeasts, natural yeasts in the tobacco. The ones that react to what we call cold fermentation, that doesn't require too much heat to actually work and build. And then there are the yeasts that require a lot of heat to get activated, and produce colonies. You
Right.
know, like any fermented product, beer, wine is the same process. Yeasts, natural yeasts from beer, you add hops and yeasts,
Right.
but in wine you don't. So the natural yeasts of the grapes are the ones that are causing the fermentation.
Hmm.
And once the fermentation starts, they take over, and the cigar becomes a very clean product. It, basically, back in the days, indigenous people will grab that fermented tobacco and rub against wounds to heal because it was an extremely bactericide element.
Right.
So they realized that's why they consider also the tobacco sacred for them because there's multiple healing effects. Therefore, when they would sacrifice to their gods and stuff, they would burn the tobacco because they thought that that was a way to kind of elevate their prayers uh, to God. So it's a very interesting biological reaction. So fermentation is important for releasing ammonia, adding flavor to the tobacco, and it's also determines what kind of taste profile you create. So I can release a lot of ammonia and then decide to use the tobacco within 2 years or 1 year. Depends what kind of outcome you want. If you want some more acidity, some more strength, you might actually not age that tobacco that much. If you want to have maybe more delivery of sweetness in certain types of tobacco, and we talked about yesterday, it's different seed strains, different types of soils
Right.
that influence directly that outcome, you know, like what you're looking for. So blending is not just about putting leaves together, but also choosing exactly the level of fermentation you want to create a reaction of the leaves together.
Right.
Sometimes you actually are fermenting binders to mute strength and flavor, not to add strength and flavor.
Wow.
Sometimes this muting is extremely important if you want to reduce acidity, if you want to actually make people perceive that cigar as rounded and not as kind of spicy and you know, in your front palate, you want to speak more to the upper palate. So it requires a different level of fermentation to create that combination.
Wow.
So fermentation is key. You know, the drying barn is key actually too.
Okay.
When you dry the tobacco and ferment, those two stages are probably the most important stage of making a cigar. It's the agriculture is important, but drying becomes extremely important. If you don't dry it well, the tobacco won't ferment well.
Right.
If you don't ferment well, the tobacco will not burn well. So it's all connected.
You're all connected in the process, right?
Absolutely.
So, how long did it take you to get your first blend? Do you remember your first blend?
I don't know, man. Do I remember my first blend? I remember when something clicked, right? So having synesthesia, it's something weird. So I have the memory of the first cigar I smoked, and I do have the memory of the first cigar I blended, but I only felt confident about putting something in the market. Well, first of all, the first cigar I blended was not for me. It was actually for a different company. You know,
Okay.
like I said, we start making cigars for other brands first.
Right.
But it was multiple try and errors, and you learn. We talked with the chef last night,
Yeah.
right? The guy who did the dinner.
Yeah. Shout out
Yeah,
Black
man, it
Well.
was amazing, dude. It was amazing. You cannot miss an event here, man. This Blowing Smoke Lounge here, they're so creative. That's amazing music, live music, all this stuff, man. Food and this dinner and conversation last night was amazing. But anyways,
Shout out to the Blowing Smoke family. We
absolutely,
love
man.
you guys.
Edwina,
Keep
shout out to
doing
her.
the thing, EB, Edwina Brown.
Yep.
We love what you're doing. Looking forward to many more events. By way of Edwina, that's how we came about it. Right?
Yeah. Wow.
And so
It doesn't surprise me, man.
yeah,
She's an inspiration for so many people.
absolutely.
She's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's super cool. And speaking of her, there she is right there. We're just talking about you.
Yeah. So, okay.
Uh,
Getting connected with you.
Uh-huh.
How do we connect with you?
how you connect with me? Just
Like-
be real, bro.
Yeah.
Just be real. I love real things. We talked about the whole thing about how the world is there's just this skepticism everywhere because people have a hard time to trust each other. Right?
Right.
When I find someone that's real, that I can have a true relationship, I don't care what that person does or background.
Because you said something last night where it's like there's three truths. There's the what people think you are, who you truly are, and what you think you are.
That's right.
And the other part is like what you think you are and who you think you are. When those two align, then everything else should follow up. But then it's that outside.
It's easy like that, bro. It's easy like that. Like when you have those three images aligned, you know, you're gonna be happy because you don't have to pretend something. You don't have to fake anything. You know, you can just be yourself. And being yourself and knowing yourself is key for you to develop your relationships, to connect with people, because people start trusting us.
Absolutely.
You know, and we lack that today. You know, there's this distrust everywhere. You know, like for you to trust somebody, you have to be recommended by someone who talk about that person. Hey, I know that person for this many years. You can trust that person. But you're still gonna have to maybe meet that person and eventually you will trust that person.
Right.
And then you build a relationship. We live in tough days, man, where people wants to live fantasies and you know, social media stuff, you know, that you can pretend to be where you're not, and that kind of is fed into the cycle, you know. So that's why places like here, you know, my good friends at Industrial, this, you know, El Dorado, so many nice lounges here that I connected with, is because people there, they are real, you know, and that's the people I want to work with, you know.
It's real people.
Yeah.
You know, genuine people.
Yeah.
It's so hard to come by the genuineness of someone's heart.
Yeah.
When they're generous people and they're truly genuine about who they
Yep.
are.
You're absolutely right.
And that's what, you know, we strive to be. Hopefully, if we're trying to better ourselves
Yeah.
and empower others.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
But I'm not going to hold you any longer. I know we got a whole event we got to get to.
No, man, it's a pleasure, bro. It's a pleasure.
And a pleasure's all mine.
I think what all the cigar media do for our industry, it's underrated. You know, I believe that we need more information about cigars, tobacco, the culture, inspiring other people to get to know tobacco. There's a lot of people that consume other tobacco products. When they realize what cigars offer,
Right.
you know, they usually gravitate towards cigars, you know. And you guys are responsible for that. Without you know, shows like yours, podcasts, and people elevating the culture, and we wouldn't be here, you know. There's many manufacturers that don't realize that, you know, how important it is, you know, to be connected with the media, with people that are spreading, you know, the truth about cigars and doing pairings and
Right.
inspiring, you know, people. That's awesome, bro. And I commend you. You know, this is great. You know?
And I completely appreciate you.
Absolutely,
And
bro.
thank you for your kind words, man.
It's
it
my
means a
pleasure,
lot.
bro. It's real, comes from the heart, and I appreciate you inviting me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, being here for this event, supporting Edwina too, blowing smoke. I know you are a homie here,
Yeah.
so but this is awesome. You know, thank you very much for this beautiful lady behind the camera, doing everything. And
And getting us set up.
guys, thank you very much. Thanks for tuning in, and till next time, bro.
Yes, sir. So, guys, like, subscribe, share the channel, and remember, storms don't last, but your home should. Peace. Two fingers.